you bang it up a little bit, grab another. There's plenty more where that came from. But don't drop it on the floor. Okay. Put that in the correct way. Okay. Again, grab your self-tapping screw, your aluminum shim, and we go through the shock and into the front hole on the rear. Center hole in the front hole on the rear mounts. Run that in. Okay, that one's mounted up. Go back around to the other side here. Grab our other screw, our other shim, and front hole. Get her started. This is actually these last couple of steps here that I've been working on. It's actually steps 33 through 36. A lot of this vehicle really starts to come together. You start to get a real good idea of what you're actually building. It starts to look like a truck. There's your rear suspension done. Upper links mounted, lower links mounted, and rear shocks mounted. Articulation. Drive shafts are mounted, grub screws are thread locked. So you're pretty much at that point ready to move on to the next step. And we'll flip the page here. And we're going to have to dig up some more parts. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're going to start to build the battery tray and radio box, etc. Basically what you're going to need to do is get part tree 80028 out. That's going to be this one. It's going to have your two halves of your battery box on it. We'll get this kind of centered here a little bit better. Sorry if I've gotten out of the picture a few times. It's hard to look up over my shoulder and see what the camera's doing or where it's pointed. Okay, we got that. Actually, we're going to need the two posts off of it too. You're going to need both halves of the battery box, which are the two bigger pieces there. Then you're going to need the two mounting posts, which are 3 and 4. And then you should have some screws from that previous parts bag for mounting these up. Right now, I'm just going to mount the box. I'm not going to, at this point, mount any of the hardware into it. I've got to figure out what radio setup I want to run in this thing. Basically what we'll do here now is put this on, and it looks like we need to be at the front of the vehicle, which we are. I've got this facing on my block the right way here. Let's get this servo wire out of the way for now. We'll run that down out the bottom. Okay, the box actually attaches to this cross member, and then from the side posts. These side posts attach down here in the frame holes. And it's kind of, they don't really attach, they just kind of more or less support. There's a peg, and the peg actually fits into that hole. So basically all this is doing is supporting the box. So what you want to do is put the peg, each one will fit one side of the frame. Put that in the hole, set your box in place, then grab the correct screws. In this case it's the 894s, which are the medium length, not the short, not the long. There should be two medium length ones left. So you're going to want one of each of those for the corner posts. Put that in my trusty snap-on screwdriver with a magnetic tip. And we'll run that one in. I think we actually came out of our guide peg there. Okay. This is a little tricky to do here. Okay, once you got that guide peg located right, go back up to the top, grab two of the 896s, they're the longer self-tapping. Do yourself a favor and run one in up there. That'll hold your box. Actually, you might want to probably just put both of those in. I think it's time to get rid of my wood blocks here again. Spinning around too much. Run both of those two top ones in. That'll hold your box square. And it should actually drop down into those holes, which for some reason I'm not sure why it's not. I'm going to loosen this one back up. The box should drop into these top holes. There we go. Other side here. Okay, run those all the way down. The box will snap down into those holes. Let's get the other brace underneath here. As I said, this is kind of a tricky little deal here because it actually supports. It doesn't really attach. Okay, you heard that snap into place. I'm going to take my screw and stick it on my screwdriver. Magnetic screwdrivers always come in nice and handy. Okay, that one's lined up there, and now we go back across the other side and tighten that one back down. Both of those are in their guide holes, both sides. Box is secure. Go back up to the lid. Now the lid actually notched in on the front, drops down. Take two of the short 893 screws and run them down in. Like I said, right now I'm not going to put the radio gear in this. Not quite ready for that yet. That'll be the last thing I'm going to do on the build, along with the body. So, okay, radio box is in. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is decide where you're going to want to run your battery on the vehicle. Now, right back here, what I've got and I plan on running in this vehicle is a 2-cell 3250 30C pack from us at maxamps.com. This is actually one of our new packs as of February 1st, 2009. All of the packs come with the tab end of the pack and the wire end. Basically, this end of the pack is dipped into a water-resistant solution. Seals the whole end of the pack up. It protects the tabs from impact. They won't dead short against each other if they were to get smashed because they're encased in a rubber-like substance. What it also does is makes the whole end of the LiPo cells watertight. Lithium and water do not mix. It's an explosive fire when they do mix, and we felt this was the best solution for this. These are great packs for scale rigs. It's thin, it's lightweight. What's even nice, better about this, it'll actually fit right up front. This is basically the same footprint, as a 6-cell shotgun pack, but a lot thinner, a lot lighter. The other option on this vehicle is it could go in the rear. The tray has two different positions. You can either mount it forward, mount it in the back. I personally like on my scale rigs, because you do get into rock crawling situations, I like my weight up in the front. I still like a little bit of weight in the front of the vehicle. What happens is you put too much weight in the back of a scale rig, and I've tested it on a couple of my other ones, is you end up with a wheelie machine or something that will tip over very easily going up the rocks. So I'm going to take this pack, we're going to put the battery tray in the front. what we need to do is locate the tray assembly, which is right here. And basically what we need to do is